the Wrestling Maniac Podcast, your source for news on this week in the WWE.
Hi, and welcome back to the Wrestling Maniac Podcast as we continue our review of WWE programming of this week. We're going to discuss Smackdown Live. What exactly happened on Smackdown Live? Overall, the show was decent. It was pretty good. A little bit better than Raw, which seems to be the case every week, simply because of the show's length. But the writing on both shows is decent. So we go to SmackDown Live. The main highlights of this show, which I'm going to be discussing here, is first off, we get a promo with Randy Orton. That Randy Orton links back to the history of his family, his lineage, back to his father, back to his grandfather, saying that his roots was strong in St. Louis and that he could not legitimately lose in St. Louis and be able to show his face in that town again, which I thought was good. I mean, we all know the lineage of Randy Orton. Yes, he got into the business because of his father. He related back that his father was in the main event of WrestleMania 1, which was good. Then go back to the lineage of his grandfather, which personally I don't know that much about. There was some talk on Twitter. These super fans got a hold of the fact that his grandfather was a racist and all of this stuff, which I don't know if that's true or not. It was a different time. There's no excuse for racism, but it was a different time back during that period. So we are going to say that it was overall a good promo for Randy Orton. And then Jinder Mahal come on and said that he was the modern day Maharaja, and that the only reason Randy Orton got opportunities was because of his father and grandfather, and that he continued to look to the past. But Jinder Mahal, was the future, and he would show everybody, even in that snake pit that was St. Louis, that he would retain his WWE Championship. Don't know the direction that the WWE is going to go here with the main event for Money in the Bank. It could go either way. People said that, they're going to keep the belt on Jinder Mahal. They're going to take it off Jinder Mahal. We really don't know. The only person that knows about the decision is Vince McMahon, Randy Orton, and Jinder Mahal. It could go either way. This could just be a taste of Jinder Mahal's reign. I don't know if they're going to take the belt off of him this soon. I don't see reason why they would take the belt off of him just after 1 month. But it could be a result of the fan reaction here in the United States. But he is getting general heel heat with the fans here in the United States. So hopefully they'll keep the belt on him for a little while, and we'll see how it goes. But there's nothing set in stone over the direction of how this match will go. Another promo during the show was the New Day. New Day come out and they was typical New Day promo. Then the Usos come out and cut a promo against them. It's all foreshadowing that the belts are going to go to the New Day. I believe at Money in the Bank. The reason is that the New Day really appeals to kids, and that's a segment of the market that they need some superstars to appeal to, and we'll see if that's the direction that they go. But most likely, I look for the New Day to win the belts, Money in the Bank. Then we go to various other matches that was in the program. Actually, the SmackDown started off with a tag team between Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin and Kevin Owens. This was okay. Baron Corbin sort of set himself apart in this lone wolf identity, that he was going to be standing alone, because he really insulted Kevin Owens a few times. And the match, it was an okay match. It wasn't nothing that was out of the ordinary that really caught my attention in this match. It was good to see, Shinsuke Nakamura in a match. Sami Zayn continuing on, and of course this is all being built for Money in the Bank. Again, Kevin Owens took a pin from a Kinshasa from Shinsuke Nakamura, which is kind of, Kevin Owens really trying to help put over Shinsuke Nakamura, which is good, and we'll see exactly how this goes. It translates in Money in the Bank. Maybe Shinsuke Nakamura will be our Money in the Bank winner. This happened as a result of Baron Corbin just leaving his partner in the ring to fend for himself after a disagreement with Kevin Owens. So we might see Baron Corbin, Kevin Owens in a match next week for the United States Championship. It could be a possibility. Baron Corbin is week by week getting better in the ring. They've done a really good solid build on Baron Corbin, and I look for Baron Corbin at the latter part of the year to be in the WWE title picture if he does not win Money in the Bank. It would make sense for me to have Sami Zayn to win Money in the Bank, but who knows? This is a WWE, and we can't never tell how it's going to go. Another segment, there was also Breezango had a Fashion Files segment, and they're continuing the comedy routine with Breezango. I think it's lost a little bit of its appeal and luster. It was a good production. It was a little bit humorous of what they did in their video vignette. Then it continued on in the ring with the Fashion Police, Breezango against Primo and Evico, and then Tyler Breeze was dressed up as this janitor character again, and I think that this really has lost its appeal to me personally. That at least these guys are getting some face time, but to be honest, when you get into that comedy routine, you're doomed to continue it. Remember somebody saying that about Breezango, and I really didn't take notice of it, because I was enjoying the last pay-per-view. But it's true that if you get stuck into that comedy routine, that the WWE continues to explore it, and you're not taken seriously as a performer. And it's really sad because Tyler Breeze and Fandango are immensely talented wrestlers. Tyler Breeze has all the potential in the world. He is as talented and could be challenging for the Intercontinental Championship. but he's stuck in this comedy routine now. Well, at least he's not cross-dressing like he did with, cross-dressed as Nikki Bella. At least he's moved on from that. But I really think Tyler Breeze could do a lot better, say, if he was in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It would be amazing to have seen Tyler Breeze in the Best of Super Juniors tournament to see exactly what this kid can do. But we may not never know that, and hopefully he gets out of this routine of comedy and actually is brought forth as a legitimate character. The next segment was with the women, and there was a 5-way to determine the number one contender for Naomi's WWE Smackdown Championship. The bell didn't even sound, and there was a lot of action in this, and this was highly entertaining. I wish this would have been the main event, but I guess we figured out why that AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler was going to go on for the main event. But this was very entertaining, and it got to the point to where all the women was laying around in and around the ring. There was the announce table broken, powerbomb that Charlotte powerbombed Natty through the announce table. There were several bumps on the outside. Charlotte did a moonsault, and then Shane McMahon come down and announced the first ever Money in the Bank women's ladder match for Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which I'm really looking forward to. Charlotte is in this. To me, I feel that the only reason Charlotte is in this is that she campaigned so she could moonsault off top of a ladder, which I wouldn't doubt that at all, but it's going to take away a little bit from the other women if Charlotte is in this match, because automatically she's the favorite in the match. But one thing for right now that we know, unless things change and there's matches announced, and maybe we'll have to wait till next week, even on Talking Smack, is that, that Naomi is not defending her championship at Money in the Bank, and which I believe this is a little bit ridiculous that she's not defending her championship at Money in the Bank. There's been on social media that Lana is campaigning to be in Money in the Bank, and maybe they will move Lana into Money in the Bank and move one of the other participants to have a championship match with Naomi, which I feel that it should be Natalya, to be honest. They've been giving a little bit of push to Natalya, and it would be good that she's given an opportunity at the Women's Championship. I don't know if she should win. I would have her to win, just to have something different, just to have a different champion for one of the women to win. If Charlotte's still in Money in the Bank, I want to pick her or Becky Lynch to win. Some say Carmella, but I'm not really a Carmella fan. I mean, she needs some time more to develop as a superstar before she gets a title shot. There's other women like Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Natalya that need this, that needs to be the face of the women's division, I feel, besides Carmella, especially with James Ellsworth as her little tag-along. We don't know what's going to happen with Ty Dillinger at Money in the Bank, which, again, why is Ty Dillinger not in this match at Money in the Bank? I think Ty Dillinger would be a good fit, that it would be good for him, even if he doesn't win, to put Ty Dillinger in this match at Money in the Bank. At least it builds him a little bit. I mean, we know he's not going to win, but go ahead and put him in there. He doesn't have anything to do except wrestle Alex English, and that's going nowhere. So we come to the main event on SmackDown Live, which was Dolph Ziggler versus AJ Styles, which was a very good match, and AJ Styles got pinned by Dolph Ziggler in Atlanta, clean, which I thought was good. You get win, you lose, and you have to, it's not, to be honest, it's not winning or losing. It's in wrestling, it's on how well that you're over with the crowd. And I think this really helped Dolph Ziggler a lot for him to get this win, and it was good of AJ Styles to let Dolph Ziggler go over. And that's what you do in wrestling, is you try to get talents over. And people I know there were some that got upset because of this, but really, come on, people. Nobody's, this is a WWE, this is wrestling. Your favorite's not going to win every night. And, it's just the way it is. You got to give guys their time in the spotlight. You got to elevate other guys. And Dolph Ziggler is, hands down, the best pure wrestler that is on the roster competing in the WWE today. And he's used as an enhancement talent to get everybody else over. And, it's, who knows, Dolph Ziggler may win Money in the Bank again, which would be a shock. But, I don't think that Shinsuke Nakamura really needs to win Money in the Bank. We know that he's going to be elevated to that spot. We know AJ Styles is going to be elevated to that spot. We know Kevin Owens is going to be elevated to that spot. Who would this benefit the most winning Money in the Bank would be Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn. That's the two that this Money in the Bank match would benefit the most, is those two guys. And it doesn't really matter to me which one wins. Look, maybe for Baron Corbin to win, to see if they're going to push him. I think it would be better maybe for Sami Zayn to win, so he could maintain that underdog persona, and at some point in the future to cash in his Money in the Bank. And depending on what happens with Randy Orton and Jinder Mahal. But we'll see how it goes. Overall, it was a good, solid show. The writers, Road Dogg being one, they did a good job. Only thing that I really had issues with was the continuation of this comedy act of Breezango, but at least it gives them something to do, and people are relatively entertained. I'm not really that much on comedy wrestling per se. Maybe I'm just too old, but it has its place in wrestling and its moments. But I think if it's lingered too long on, if it's used too much on one particular character, then that character is stuck in that genre of comedy wrestling. And it just becomes, to me, they lose their ability to be taken seriously when the time is right. And then we had 205 Live. The highlight of 205 Live probably was that Sasha Banks was on 205 Live with Rich Swann taking on Noam Dar with Alicia Fox. And, of course, there was a confrontation between Alicia Fox and Sasha Banks. And the reason why Sasha Banks was on 205 Live is simply because it's simply to get people to tune in and to get people at the arena to stay at the event, which I don't have any issues at all them utilizing Sasha Banks to do this. maybe they just need to continue with this so that people will tune in to this program. People say that, oh, the 205 Live's horrible, that nobody's going to watch it. It takes a while to build a brand. And it takes a while to build these superstars up to be able for people to enjoy watching their match. One knows Drew Gulak, who has the no-fly zone gimmick, beat Mustafa Ali. It was a decent match. I think that the WWE really needs to capitalize on this no-fly zone. The Indies sure capitalizing on Dive. And the WWE needs to capitalize on the no-fly zone thing, make it something, even maybe have Randy Orton get a hold of this, which, because of his comments, all of this, him and Rip Rogers' comments, all of this controversy started. But there would be something to consider. But, it's Drew Gulak's gimmick right now. It works for him. Good to see him, that they gave him a win finally. Cedric Alexander had a match with an enhancement talent. Of course, he went over. It was a very short match. Then Neville and Austin Aries, they had a confrontation. It was okay. Of course, Austin Aries comes out, delivers a promo like only the way that he could deliver one. It was decent. To be honest, I'm ready for this feud between them to be done for a little bit and for Austin Aries to win the belt, which he should win the belt after being in this feud for so long and chasing the championship. Because there's really no one, I don't think, on 205 Live that's really ready to step into that role as the champion on the babyface side or the heel side. TJP will probably get into a program with Austin Aries, which he should. He needs to really develop more his heel persona. I think that this is a good move for him to do this, but change that entrance music, please. It's not kiddie pool time or the kiddie table. It's, you're a man and get some man music. But again, he's appealing to the segment of kids into video games and things like that. And I guess that's the reason why the WWE has him there. As far as NXT, the main event was Sanity, the faction of Sanity versus Cassius Ohno and Roderick Strong. And then Tommaso Ciampa delivered a hell of a promo stating the reason why he turned on Johnny Gargano, which was a decent promo, sort of sadistic in nature, which was good for him. And as he goes off to get his knee fixed, and he worked hurt during the last pay-per-view, and he feathered his injury. He said, I don't think that was part of the. That was probably part of the script, but it's part of it that was true, and he's going to be out a while after he has surgery on this. Cien almost had a match against a no-name that I don't remember his name. Big, huge guy. Looks muscular, looks great. Very tall. And Cien almost lost. It seems like on NXT that Cien almost has become the resident enhancement talent to get talent over. Then we had Pete Dunne versus Paul Birch. I think that was his name. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but it was a little guy. And Pete Dunne looked good, then delivered a good promo after his match, and said now the UK brand is going to be built, and it will look back at this moment and realize that it was during my reign that the UK brand began to explode, which was great. And they've got to build that. Everybody wants Pete Dunne on the main roster. They want him in, he's being featured on NXT because they don't have a weekly show at the moment in the UK, which I understand and which they should be doing. They should be utilizing his presence on NXT. He's still young, and I know this goes against a lot of people, but I don't feel that he's just quite ready for the main roster. He would be lost in the shuffle because there is, what is he going to do on the main roster? What spot is he going to take? The WWE right now is saturated with talent, and he needs to build that UK brand. There is where he can shine. There's where he can be a superstar. Him and Tyler Bate and the other guys they have are going to be having in that division. And the UK brand will grow. It will explode. It's destined to do it simply because the UK wrestling scene is hotter right now than what the American scene is. And the American scene is pretty vibrant on the indie side, but the UK scene is very, very hot, very popular. People are really into wrestling right now, which is wonderful in the UK. There's several different promotions in the UK, including What Culture and the like, and people should check those promotions out. So then we had the Velveteen Dream had a promo. I'm not even going to discuss that. It's not even relevant. Then we have the main event, Roderick Strong versus Cassius Ohno. Was a decent main event. It's good to see Cassius Ohno. He looks so much better in the purple jersey than he does the white. His ring attire fits him great. They finally found something that works with him on who he is, and I wouldn't change a thing on him. He can stay the size that he is right now with that ring attire and be successful in the WWE. Then we had Cassius Ohno started off this match, which was, usually the smaller guy in a tag match starts off the match, which would be Roderick Strong. But Cassius Ohno started off the match and was trying to get the hot tag to Roderick Strong. Finally got the hot tag to Roderick Strong, and the crowd popped. So they're really trying to build Roderick Strong right now. The kid has a lot of potential. I don't know whether they're going to use him on the main roster in Raw or SmackDown. To me, I would let him go to 205 Live first and hold that championship first when he gets ready to move up. That's what I would do with Hideo Itami as well. But they're right now in their NXT. You know what? Let them enjoy NXT. If I was a performer in NXT and all the perks that they had, and all you had to do was get up, show up, get in, do your work, get in shape, get better, and have the other things provided for you, those guys in NXT haven't made. At the end of it, we had No Way Jose show back up and evened out the numbers game there. And I believe it was Roderick Strong and Cassius Ohno got the win. And so, to me, I mean, this is me personally. No Way Jose is a good stable, constant presence in NXT. There's no hurry or there's no rush to move him up to the main roster. I would stay in NXT as much as possibly can. And same way with Cassius Ohno. These guys have got it made. And we're not just, all these fans say, oh, we want to see him on the main pay-per-view. Let them stay there and get notoriety and become stars. I mean, right now, Drew Galloway or Drew McIntyre, whatever you want to call him, he's going to be the next one to challenge Bobby Roode, which, to be honest, I look for maybe a series of matches here between these two. So, and that title is going to be going to Drew sooner or later. It's just a matter of time. And now Bobby Roode, he's ready for the main roster. Definitely ready for the main roster. He should be probably called up to, he's probably either Raw. Probably Raw. He's ready for the main roster. See him future Intercontinental Champion first. See him as a future World Champion. He's got the it factor written all over him of WWE World Champion or WWE Universal Champion. It's all over Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode, he's 42. He's in his 40s. He's ready. He's ready. He's polished. He's ready. Maybe one or two more title defenses, and then drop the belt to Drew McIntyre or Drew Galloway, whatever you want to call him. He's ready. He's ready for the main roster. Definitely ready for the main roster. Also, they had a little promo here in the Workout Center, and with Amber Moon, that Amber Moon is ready to compete. So she will be competing and going after Asuka's championship. Asuka will be having to defend her championship, we find out, in an elimination three-way with Ruby Riott and the girl from Sanity, Nikki Cross, in an elimination three-way here on NXT coming up, which ought to be interesting. I still look for Asuka to retain the title, of course, but there's no way I'd take the title off of Asuka right now. So TakeOver Brooklyn, what I would look for is Asuka versus Amber Moon. Now, whether Asuka wins or loses, we do not know. It's quite possible that they're going to take that title off of Asuka and put it on Amber Moon. If it is, then Asuka going to the main roster. Me personally, I wouldn't take the title off Asuka. I would let her ride this out, and I would let her go to the main roster unbeaten. But that's just me. So things are shaping up at NXT. It's entertaining. You're going to be seeing a lot of new faces. Have no idea when Adam Cole is going to be signing with the WWE. He's taking a date. At June 24th, he's going to be appearing in Wrestling Circus, which, I would have thought that he would have debuted by now in NXT. I guess the WWE is going to make sure that they are going to not be found guilty of tampering with Ring of Honor talent. They want to dot all of their I's, cross all of their T's to make sure that they're out of that 90-day period to where it's safe and clear for Adam Cole to go to the WWE, and WWE is Adam Cole's destination. There are reports that Impact Wrestling was trying to sign Adam Cole. There is no way, if I was Adam Cole, that I would go to Impact Wrestling. You're taking a step down if you're Adam Cole and you go to Impact Wrestling. Just saying. So he needs to go on to bigger and better and brighter futures with the WWE, and it'd be awesome when he goes to NXT, whenever that will be, which we'll wait and see when that happens. Well, folks, that is the WWE programming for this week. You can follow me at Real Guru Wrestle on Twitter, or you can go to my website, ultimateworldwrestling.com, and check out all the things that I have there to offer. And there's articles there, which are a pretty fun read on the latest article that I have coming out, and there's 2 articles that I have coming out in the new The Squared Circle magazine. But the articles I've written are there. Well, I hope that each and every one of you have a blessed day and you enjoy listening to the podcast. We'll catch you later down the road. We may do an extra podcast this week on some news around the world of wrestling. Definitely going to have a predictions podcast that's going to be coming out soon. You all take care and keep it in the ring, and be wrestling fans, my brothers and my sisters. More love, less hate. Talk to you later.